Hello, my friends. Today I'm going to tell you the story of a man who escapes to Paris after his girlfriend is murdered by the mafia. But 3 years later, he thinks he sees someone who looks just like her in a movie. He travels to Los Angeles searching for the truth, only to find himself once again in danger from the mafia. Will he survive this time? Let's find out. The movie starts in France with a man named Sam, who's having a nightmare. He wakes up looking deeply sad. Then, Sam begins his day and heads to work. We learn that he works as a delivery guy at a restaurant owned by his friend Gillis. After finishing his shift, Sam goes to the movies. One night, on his way home, he feels like someone is following and watching him. Sam turns around and confronts the man, asking him what he wants, but it turns out the guy was just zoned out and wasn't following him at all. It becomes clear that Sam's fear and anxiety are causing hallucinations, and it's getting him into a lot of trouble. The next day, his friend suggests he meet a girl to help him get out of the sadness he's been stuck in for 3 years. That's when we find out that Sam's fiancée, Georgina, was killed in a shooting in New York. Since then, Sam left New York and moved to Paris. One day, Sam is watching a romantic movie in the theater when he's completely shocked to see the lead actress, Lauren, because she looks exactly like Georgina, an identical copy. Sam becomes convinced that Lauren is Georgina. He starts digging up all the information he can find about the actress, but is surprised that there's not much about her. This gives him more hope that Lauren could actually be Georgina. He tells his friend Gillis what he saw, but Gillis tells him it's just a strong resemblance, and that Sam is struggling to accept Georgina's death because of how much he loved her. Sam then calls Georgina's mother, Jane, and asks her about Georgina. Jane gets angry and tells him her daughter has been dead for a long time and blames him for her death. She hangs up on him. After that, Jane calls a police detective named Bill. She remembers meeting him 3 years ago during the investigation of her daughter's murder. She tells him that back then, he asked her to notify him right away if she ever heard anything about Sam. So, she informs him that Sam had called her. The next day, Sam tells his friend that he's going to Los Angeles because the actress he believes is Georgina lives there, and he wants to find out the truth for himself. His friend sympathizes with him and gives him some money to help with the trip. As soon as Sam arrives in Los Angeles, Detective Bill flies to France. He visits Gillis at the restaurant, introduces himself, and asks about Sam. Gillis takes him to Sam's place, where they find a wall full of pictures of Lauren, along with news articles about a fire that happened 3 years ago, and lots of other people's photos. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, Sam goes to a theater where Lauren's new movie is premiering. She shows up, posing for pictures in front of the press. Sam is in the crowd and tries to call out to her, using the name Georgina, but she doesn't hear him. He tries to get into the theater, but the staff won't let him in because he doesn't have an invitation. So, he waits outside for Lauren to come out. Then, the same woman who stopped him from entering the theater calls him by his name. Sam is surprised that she knows him. She tells him her name is Kate, and that they went to high school together. Sam remembers her, and is happy to see her again. They go to a cafe, and Sam tells Kate his story. He explains that his girlfriend Georgina died in a fire in their apartment 3 years ago, and he's been blaming himself ever since for not saving her. Kate learns from Sam that he suspects the actress Lauren might actually be Georgina. Kate is shocked by what he says but agrees to help him. She tells Sam that Lauren will be attending a party with the film crew after the premiere and that she'll get him into the party so he can get close to her. Sam thanks her a lot for her help. They go to the party together. Kate talks to Lauren and draws her attention to Sam. But strangely, Lauren reacts normally, as if she's never met Sam before. Sam decides to go up to her himself. He greets her, and she responds like he's just another person she doesn't recognize. Then, her fiancé Vince shows up, takes her by the hand, and they leave together. After that, Sam leaves the party with Kate and tells her that he's now sure Lauren is actually Georgina, because she was wearing the necklace he gave her a long time ago. But Kate tells him that's not solid proof and explains that a lot of girls have that same necklace. The next day, Kate takes Sam to one of her friends who works at a film production company. From her, they get Lauren's home address. Then Kate and Sam head to that address and wait outside the building until they spot Lauren leaving with her fiancé Vince in his car. They follow them to a restaurant. Sam and Kate enter the restaurant and sit where they can watch Lauren. Sam keeps an eye on her the entire time she's sitting with Vince until she gets up to go to the restroom. As soon as Lauren walks into the bathroom, Sam follows her. She's surprised and tells him this is the ladies' room and he needs to leave. But Sam steps closer, thinking deeply, especially about the necklace she's wearing. He tells her he gave her that necklace as a birthday gift 4 years ago. But Lauren insists she bought the necklace herself, and tells him she doesn't know who he is and that this is the first time they've ever met. Still, Sam insists that she is Georgina and asks her why she's pretending not to know him. At that point, Lauren threatens to hurt him and tells him again that she doesn't know him, warning him to stay away from her. She leaves, clearly upset. Sam walks out, heartbroken, and tells himself that he's finally convinced Lauren isn't Georgina. Kate comforts him and says she'll wait for him in the car. Meanwhile, we see that Bill, the detective, was in the same restaurant, watching Sam's every move. As Kate walks out, a mysterious man attacks Sam, trying to kill him. Sam manages to fight him off and run. But then, 2 more men appear and try to grab him. Sam runs out of the restaurant, but one of the men catches up and punches him. Right then, Kate shows up and uses her taser on the guy. She also grabs his wallet, and she and Sam make a quick getaway in her car. Inside the car, Sam opens the man's wallet, sees his ID, and recognizes him. They drive to a place far from the restaurant, and Sam tells Kate that the mafia has been after him, and that he's been on the run for the past 3 years. He's shocked they found him and decides he has to leave Los Angeles the next day. Kate tells him she's coming with him and won't leave his side. It becomes clear she has feelings for Sam. Later, Sam returns to his apartment and starts packing. But then he's surprised when Lauren shows up at his door. As soon as she enters, she tells him she really is Georgina, his former fiancée. She explains that she had to change everything in her life because she was terrified of the mafia. She thought they were after her, but didn't know why. Over time, she realized it was Sam the mafia was chasing. She asks him what he got himself into. Sam tells her that one day, while filming with his camera, he accidentally caught footage of the old man who lived across the street. He filmed him committing a murder. It turned out that man was the mafia boss, Ivan. Ivan saw Sam recording and, as a result, sent Carlo and his brother Alex to kill them. At that time, Alex shot Georgina in the shoulder, and she fell to the ground. Sam thought she had died, so he attacked and killed Alex. Carlo started shooting at him, but Sam managed to escape. The gunfire caused a pipe to rupture, leading to a huge fire in the apartment. Since then, Sam had been on the run from the mafia, until they found him again at the restaurant. At that moment, Georgina finally understands the full truth and realizes that Sam was trying to save her. She tells him that on the day of the fire, she managed to escape the apartment before the flames spread. After that, she tried calling Sam many times, but all his phones and social media accounts were shut down. So she changed her name and her entire life. Later, she met Vince, who became her fiancé and helped her break into the film industry. After both of them share their stories, they grow closer again and feel happy to be reunited. Then, they decide to run away together from Los Angeles. At the same time, Carlo arrives at his apartment and finds Bill waiting for him. Bill tells Carlo that Ivan, the mafia boss, assigned him to kill Sam. We learn here that Bill is a hitman working for the mafia. Bill tells Carlo that he was about to kill Sam at the restaurant, but Carlo's men showed up and ruined his plan. Carlo replies that he's the one who will kill Sam to avenge his brother Alex, who Sam killed during the fire. The next day, Georgina tells Sam she's going home to pack a bag of clothes. Sam asks her to wait for him at her place until he finishes something important, and then he'll come pick her up so they can leave together. Later on, Kate visits Sam and finds out what happened. It's clear that Kate is upset. She had hoped to travel with Sam, but she's also happy because she sees that Sam is happy. She decides to help him find Ivan, the mafia boss, because she knows that no matter where he runs, Ivan can still find him. Kate tells him that Ivan is sick and currently in the hospital. Sam heads to the hospital disguised as a doctor. He manages to trick the bodyguard and gets into Ivan's room. As soon as he enters, he points a gun at Ivan and demands that he leave him and Georgina alone. But Ivan tells him that he has a terminal illness and is going to die anyway. He's not afraid of the gun. Sam lowers his weapon and asks him to let them live in peace, especially since neither of them ever spoke about the murder that Sam filmed by accident. Ivan promises him that none of his men will chase them again. Sam returns home feeling relieved and tells Kate what happened. Then he starts shaving and getting ready to go pick up Georgina and leave. Kate is with him in the apartment, helping him pack his things. Meanwhile, Bill sneaks into the apartment without either of them noticing. Suddenly, they find him standing in front of them, pointing a gun. At that moment, Ivan calls Bill and orders him to leave them alone and walk away. At the same time, Carlo is with Ivan and is shocked to hear that the mission to kill Sam has been cancelled. Carlo grabs the phone from Ivan and tells Bill to kill Sam anyway. But Bill responds that he works for Ivan, not for Carlo, and hangs up on him. Carlo loses his temper and attacks Ivan, killing him. Meanwhile, Kate drives Sam to a location and drops him off, then drives away. Sam is still talking with Vince, waiting for Georgina to come down from upstairs. Suddenly, the lights go out. It turns out Kate broke in through the back door and cut the power. Kate tells them what she saw. While they're talking, they hear a noise outside the front door. Vince and Sam rush to grab Georgina and hide in a storage room. Kate stays hidden alone in the restaurant. One of Carlo's men sneaks up on her and tries to kill her. Sam rushes out of the storage room, shoots the man trying to hurt Kate, and takes his gun. He then heads toward Georgina and Vince. They're trying to escape through the pool area, but Carlo spots them. He rushes at Georgina and is just about to kill her when Vince jumps on him. A violent fight breaks out between them. Carlo manages to overpower Vince and aims his gun at him and Georgina. But Sam shows up at the last second, shoots Carlo, and kills him. After that, Kate ends up in Sam's arms, and Georgina is in Vince's. Sam and Georgina look at each other and smile, because they both realize that the love they once had is now in the past, and that each of them has found someone new. And that's how the movie ends. If you liked the film, don't forget to hit the like button and tell us what you think in the comments.